Welcome everybody to Talk Talk Punch. My name is Brody Hanson, here with Charlie Hickman. And we are a new channel that's starting up. Charlie and I have been friends for, I think we're at about 24 years now.
Wow.
And this is stuff, we talk about movies. We've talked about movies for a long time. We talk about comic books. We talk about video games. We talk about wrestling. We talk about a lot of stuff.
We do.
We talk about it anyway, so we figured we would just come here, talk about it here, and include other people in the conversation.
That's right. When I first met Brody, the hair was kind of like, instead of here, it was all up here.
Yeah.
So that's how long we've known each other. His hair's fully migrated from one side of the head down to the other.
It really is.
That's a glorious beard. That I have, like, every time I look at you on these Zoom calls, I get like just tremendous beard envy.
It is getting grayer by the day.
Well, I mean, I like to think that in the 24 years of friendship that I'm responsible for at least half of that gray hair. So
it's probably true.
wait till you hear my list tonight. I might make that beard turn completely white. So.
Oh my goodness. So to start this all out, we thought we would have just a top 10. Top 10s are something that we like to talk about. We like to just rank things anyways. We've been doing it for a long time. You know what? Let's start it out that way. So as a kind of get to know you, we said, okay, top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Top 10 all time. No rules, no restrictions. No boundaries, no genre specifics.
No.
Just favorite movies.
Now, whenever I talk to people or meet new people, one of my favorite icebreaker questions is top 5 favorite movies of all time, not in any particular order, just top 5 favorite movies of all time. So my top 5, easy. I got it down.
Pretty strong.
And then I got to the latter 5. Boy, I kind of struggled with this one.
It's hard. It's a fun, by the way, if you're watching this, it's a fun exercise. Try it at home. Try to narrow down that top 10, make a big list of movies, and then try to rank them in an order. It's harder than it's more challenging than it seems like it would be.
Yeah, particularly the number 10 slot for me, because I had a whole bunch of movies and I was putting them in there. It was all good. And then I got to that last spot and I said, I only have one more spot. And I sat and I just stared at my list for a while. Boy, yeah. What gets to go in that last spot? And did some shuffling here and there and was all over the place. And I think I wound up with a list.
Well, I mean, you definitely wound up with a list. I don't know. We'll see if it's what kind of list it is.
I think it's a list, particularly that last 5, that on any given day could change.
That's fair. Well, I mean, that's the thing about favorite anything. I mean,
sure.
In our lifetimes, we're going to have a lot of different favorite foods or favorite places to visit, favorite vacation spots, favorite TV shows, favorite movies, favorite people. And a lot of them are just reflections, especially with movies, of like where we were in our lives when we first experienced them. Certain movies have held up over time better than others, but in certain movies that doesn't really matter because of how precious they were the first time we saw them, what they meant to us when we first saw them. And it's one of the great things about movies, right? They make for a great lively debate and conversation, but also these wonderful little like time capsules. And in a way, like even almost like a time machine where we can kind of just instantly be brought back to these moments in our lives when we first experienced some of these moments, and they're really fun. At least I had a lot of fun kind of revisiting memories, making my list.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. I am very excited to hear your list. I'm curious to see if we have any crossovers. I don't know if we do.
I don't think we do. I think maybe at the most I would say 1, but I'm guessing none. If I was a betting man.
I was looking at it, wondering the same thing, and I don't think we do. I don't think we have one single crossover.
Well, we'll find out. Should we dive in?
Sure. To start out, I had some honorable mentions. Like I said, that number 10 slot. I had some other ones that just didn't make it. They could easily slide in there, right. on a mood. If I'm more in the mood for one thing versus the other,
sure.
They would have been on my number 10. But did you have any honorable mentions?
Of course. Yeah, this was like, yeah, this is a tough. I started out not having enough movies, and then I kept thinking about it and thinking about it, and then I had like 20, and then I kept thinking of new ones, and I'm like, I better stop thinking about movies and just really focus on this. So yeah, I don't know if do you want me to just list off a lump of them here, or you want to go one for one?
Let's do one for one.
All right. Look, just missing my list. One of my favorite movies as a child. It's a great like sick home from school movie. It's a great one for the family. The Princess Bride, and it just missed my list. I thoroughly have enjoyed that movie on multiple occasions. It is among probably my most frequently viewed movie, like just it's in total views in my lifetime. Just because of different situations that I've seen it in. It's got romance and action. It's got Billy Crystal being hilarious, and Cary Elwes at the peak of his powers. It's just a fun movie, and it's very quotable, right? My kids still say, "Anybody want a peanut?" It's a classic.
My kids say that too all the time.
Wallace Shawn, come on, it's a good flick.
It's good.
And now that I'm even saying it out loud, I don't know why it's not on my 10. So. Give me one.
My kind of honorable mention that boy was right there at number 10. I like had them in my spreadsheet on like the same cell on the same row, and I was like, I don't know which ones were going in. I had The Fifth Element.
It's a good one.
Oh, it's so good. I just love that movie. It's got it all. It's got the adventure, it's got the action, it's got the comedy. It's sci-fi. I love sci-fi stuff. That's one that I feel like I could just watch anytime, and it's just a good one. But just made it a hair off the list. So
I had a friend named Katie who could never remember that she'd seen The Fifth Element, and it would come up in a conversation, and we'd be talking about The Fifth Element, and a bunch of us, talking about how great it is, and she'd be like, "Oh, I've never seen it." And we're like, "You've never seen it?" And it was it's just like in this full loop, and then we put it in about halfway, about half hour, and she'd be like, "Oh, I've seen this," and then like rinse and repeat at least like once a year, and we kept falling for it. Like it's just this, "Oh, you've never seen this? Oh, we're putting it in right now," and "Oh, I've seen this." Oh man, that is a classic movie. I love that one.
Oh man.
Bruce.
Anything else?
We're talking about Bruce. Like Die Hard probably could have found a way out of my top 10.
I thought about Die Hard on my list. I thought about it.
Really like that film, and it's.
You're talking about the fourth one, right?
The fourth one, the sixth one, is my favorite. Are there six? I feel like there's six.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I was talking about the first one, but hey, the third one was fun too. The second one's all right, but yeah, after that, I pretend that they don't exist. So.
I had the other one that kind of just fell off the list was Terminator 2. I saw that at in theaters. I was 9 years old when I saw that in theaters. I was probably too young. But man, I could watch that movie anytime. It's
like that's another
great.
One where I feel like the moment it came out, it was so amazing. Like at that time, like if you're just popping it in now for the very first time, you can't appreciate how groundbreaking the effects were, like how cool the visuals were. Like, cause it's just been done on so much better since then. But like at that time, that was like, jaw dropping.
Arnold was great at the time. You were coming off the first Terminator where he was a bad guy, and then he comes back and he's a good guy. Oh dude. So
I still am. I haven't gotten used to the idea that he was the governor of California yet. I still haven't come to terms with that.
That was over 15 years ago. It was a long time ago.
As a Californian, it's still hard to wrap my mind around.
Do you have anything else?
Like I could talk about the movies that didn't make the list all night, and there's a lot of them, and there's good ones, and ones that people watching will probably be angry that aren't on the list. And I might bring up a few as we kind of go through, because I have some methodology where I kind of like I can only pick one from this particular genre, so pitting a couple of movies that really probably shouldn't have been pitted against each other for list ranking.
Sure.
Yeah, why don't we just dive in?
Okay. Now, before we start, how did you build your list? What was the criteria that you used?
All right. So, like you, bro, I've often had the conversation of like top five favorite movies,
Yeah.
and I had a pretty standardized top five for a long time, and then that has completely dissolved. So for me, this was kind of like starting over from the ground up, and I kind of, I don't want to say it was a point system because it wasn't quite as intricate as that,
Okay.
but thinking about like the number of times, like number of viewings, like there are movies that are great, that are really good movies that I've seen once or maybe twice and have no interest in ever watching again,
Yeah.
but I'm really glad I saw them.
Sure.
Those movies did not make my list, and
Right.
it had to be something that I've had multiple viewings on and have not gotten sick of. And the idea of watching it in the moment I was making the list was like, yes, let's put that on.
Yeah.
And so what it meant to me when I first saw it, what it still means to me now, and kind of like just the number of viewings, the rewatchability, and just kind of, so just kind of putting all these ingredients into my pot and kind of stirring them together. It is not very scientific. And if we film this again in a week, I would probably have a different list. So, let's look, and you'll get the feel for how weird my list is with my number 10, which is the classic Shaolin Soccer. Such a good movie.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you've ever seen Shaolin Soccer. Does that ring a bell to you? Is that something that you're like, oh yeah, I've got a reference for that in my brain of what it is, or is that just
I'm still trying to figure out if you're serious or not.
No, I'm very, well, first of all, very hurtful, bro. Yes, I'm very serious.
Okay, I've never seen Shaolin Soccer before.
All right, okay.
Definitely not on my list.
All right, as soon as we're done, I want you to go and check all your streaming services.
Okay.
See if you can track it down. Look, this movie is certainly not for everybody. It is a beautiful tale it's an underdog sports film involving the mixing of the Shaolin martial arts with soccer.
Okay.
It is subtitled, so if you're someone who doesn't like to read or only watches movies while staring at your cell phone, it may not be for you because you'll probably miss out on some of the dialogue looking at Instagram or whatever you might be scrolling through.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a personal attack at my wife. But since Stephen Chow vehicle, and he did the Kung Fu Hustle movie as well. If you saw that, but
I did see that one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You saw that? You didn't see Shaolin Soccer? All right. You got to watch it. It is so. Look, if you're watching this and you've never heard of it, put it on. Now, this one made the list at number 10, and I struggle with this because, like you, my number 10 was like, okay, what do I want to put here?
Yeah.
But this, out of all the movies on my list, this may be the movie that I've shown other people the most.
Okay.
Because it is probably the one on the out of these 10 that the majority of people might go, haven't heard of that.
That's exactly what I thought.
There's plenty of movies, I'm sure, on both our lists that we wouldn't have to introduce to people.
Yeah.
You'd say the title and they're like, oh yeah, that's great. Or I remember hearing about that. And so I put this one on just because it's one that, like, when I first discovered it, I was just like, everybody that came over, I was like, we're watching Shaolin Soccer. I'm putting this on right now. And I had a friend named Dave who passed a long time ago, and he was a big fan of the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang karate films. And so him and I would watch this together. And so there's also some personal reasons that really tether this to my heart. But
sure.
It's just it's a fun, feel-good comedy. The visuals are pretty great. And I think it's held up pretty well, all things considered. Do yourself a favor. If you've never heard of it, if you've never seen it, watch it. Even if you hate it, just watch it. Then you'll have at least experienced it, and then you can know for a fact in your heart that I am a crazy person. So.
Okay, I guess I'll have to check. I'm surprised. I don't think you've ever told me about this before.
Yeah, when it came out, you're Mr. Big Shot living in Reno, man. Like I couldn't pop a DVD in to make you watch it.
What year did this come out?
Oh, I'm sorry. DVDs are discs that contain movie file data that you would put into a DVD player that would play. Kids, you can Google all about how to play DVDs and what they were, or ask your parents or your grandparents to explain them to you.
All right. Moving on. All right. So I built my list similar to yours. Some rewatchability, how many times I've seen it, just, the emotional connections I kind of had to them. Some of them are more personal.
Sure.
Some of them are just like I could sit and turn this movie on at any time and watch it. So that's kind of the guidelines that I went off of. So my number 10, I probably, maybe not the most recent, but pretty recent, is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie probably gets played at my house more than any other movie. It's one that everybody in my house loves. My daughters love it. My sons love it. My wife loves it. I'll come downstairs, on a weekend morning, and the kids are watching it, and that's one that I have no problem sitting and watching it with them. It's fun. The animation is so good in that,
So good.
and the story is good, and I love it. I love it. I could watch, we watch it on road trips, and I'm fine just listening to it. We watch it on movie nights. We watch, anytime. I could watch the movie anytime. So it's great.
All right.
So there's my number 10, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
All right. Look, my number 9 is a favorite of my family's. My little sister especially has seen this movie maybe like 55 different times. And I have watched at least half of those times with her. And it is a movie at one point in time where I feel like I had the entire script memorized for. And that movie is Clue. And again, not the greatest movie of all time, but personally just one of the movies that I just still to this day makes me laugh out loud. Tim Curry is just so fantastic. Actually, the whole cast, so good, so talented. I know there's gonna be a Ryan Reynolds remake, I believe. So
really?
I am, yeah. So
do you love Ryan?
I'm not in charge of it, but as far as I know, yeah. So I'm optimistic that they'll do a good job. But even if they don't, even if they screw up this movie that I love, it does not matter. It does not taint the original movie that I love. It's not going to destroy it. It's not going to bury it. People are too skeptical of reboots and remakes. Just let it happen. If you hate it, you hate it. And then just watch the original, which is what I will do over and over again with all 3 magical endings, although even only one made sense, but that's okay. And there's a great episode of Psych where they did a Clue episode. It's a great film. Big fan. Brody, you've seen Clue, right? Have I made you watch Clue with me before?
I have seen it many times. Yes, I used to watch it when I was a kid, and then I actually just showed my wife here just a few months ago. Showed her Clue. She had never seen it before.
I still, at any time, in any situation, professional, personal, where someone says to make a long story short, I always say too late. Just it's a reflex. I can't stop it. it'd be the president of the United States. Well, it could be the future president of the United States, and they'd be like telling a story and be like, to make a long story short, and I'd be like, too late. Too late. Clue. Come on, who's seen it?
I didn't know that they released the different endings in different theaters when it was in theaters.
I did not see this in the theaters. This was a little bit before our time as far as theater going.
I read it after I watched it with my wife here recently, and they had released just a single ending in different theaters all around. So you would have to go see it multiple times to get multiple endings. Never knew that. It's
smart, man. What if like they'd done that with Star Wars, so you could go to one theater and experience a different ending with Kylo Ren and Rey, and then like, that's not the ending I wanted. All right, well, come to theater too.
There you go. All right, my number 9 is probably the most personal one. It's Beauty and the Beast. It's the Disney animated Beauty and the Beast. It's my favorite Disney animated movie. It was when I was a kid. Still is. It's my wife's favorite Disney animated movie. It's, the song that we danced to at our wedding was Beauty and the Beast. It's just a good one. I felt like I really wanted to have a Disney animated on there someplace. I've seen Beauty and the Beast probably more than any other Disney animated movie. So I wanted it on there. And so it wound up at number 9, really for sentimental. And I like it. I feel like I am a good mixture of the Beast and Gaston.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Beast and the Beauty, because yes, you
Oh
are, sir.
no.
Is there a good mix of Gaston, and what are the good qualities of Gaston that you want to mix with the Beast? Like, what are the bad qualities of the Beast that you would take away that wouldn't also be the good qualities of Gaston? That kind of, I feel like
Well, they're both hairy.
or just because you're talking because you're ripped, because you got all those big muscles. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's it.
You're so handsome. All
That's
right.
the one. That's the one.
And I guess in
appreciate
this
that.
scenario, I'm the little guy that's following you around telling you how great you are.
Yeah,
You're great,
you're
Gaston.
LeFou. You're LeFou.
The fume. Okay.
You just
I did
sing-
not
you
have that
just-
character's name on the tip of my tongue, so
just
thank you for
sing to
bailing
it.
me out on that. Le Feu.
Happy to
How
help.
français, bro.
So I don't have a whole lot more to say. I imagine
That's
everybody's
fine.
seen Beauty and the Beast, you know.
Yeah.
But that's my
Did you
number
have you
nine.
did you watch the live action remake?
I did. I really like the live action too, and it could be a toss up, really.
Okay. Okay.
I like the new music. I like the animation. I think for me, there's just something special about the original animated that, you know,
Gotcha.
that I would watch when I was a kid and stuff like that. So that's why that one made it ahead of the live action.
I cannot wait to see what animated film you have at number 7 and 8.
That's
For
my
me,
that's my last animated. Spoilers.
Spoiler. Come on, man.
Spoiler.
All right. For me, my number 8 is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
And
I thought about putting this one on my list.
well, you blew it. I don't want to tell you that your
man.
preferences are wrong, bro, but in this case, you blew it.
This is such a good movie.
It's such a good movie. And at the time, my first viewing of it was, you're laughing, you're having such a good time, and then all of a sudden, like, whoa, wait, whoa, and it like turns into this like really intense zombie film, and it was just the way they masterfully kind of transition tones. And look, Simon Pegg is so great in it, and the whole cast is really fun, and that little like Hot Fuzz and that little End of the World Triangle
World's End,
films.
yeah.
World's End, yeah, that's what it was. They were all great, although maybe in like descending order of greatness.
Okay.
Shaun of the Dead being the best, and then kind of working its way down. It's still to this day, I think, one of my all-time favorite zombie movies. And zombie movies in general are a genre that I really enjoy, and I wanted to get one on my list.
Okay.
I wanted to have something from that kind of like horror-ish genre represented, because I do really enjoy that style of film. And so this one just, I don't know, it just still makes me laugh, and I would still spend a night watching anytime. Honorable mention to well, all right, we'll get to it later. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
Give me your number 8.
All right. My number 8 is The Prestige. So
You love The Prestige.
I do love The Prestige. Christopher Nolan
You love
movie. It's the
How many
Batman
Christopher
versus
Nolans are
Wolverine.
on your list?
Well, that's spoilers. I can't talk about that. Shut up.
Like seven. All the remaining 8 are all Christopher Nolan films.
Would you blame me?
Nary
Come
the guy,
on.
Brody.
Come on, man.
For some of them, I could blame you. Yes. All right, go on. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
All right. So Prestige. After watching Batman Begins, that's so I first saw like Memento, and then I saw Batman Begins, and then Prestige came out. So I was already like, I really like this Christopher Nolan guy. And then Prestige came out.
He's got a future in this business.
Yeah, he's going someplace. I walked out of Prestige, and like I could have gone and just immediately watched that movie again. And I was like, that movie was so good. And like the twist totally got me. I went and read the book after this. Not as good.
Wow. Books never are.
Don't say that to my wife. It's just I love it. I love the way that it was set up. I love the characters. The whole premise about magicians, and there was, it's just I love that movie. And
was it the Illusionist that also came out at
the
the same time?
Illusionist, that was the Edward Norton that came out right about the same time, which was also a good movie. Just not as good as Prestige. But yeah, I don't, especially having the Christian Bale kind of coming off, Christian Bale and Michael Caine coming off of the Batman movies. I was really interested. And then that was kind of right in like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine era. And so you had this Batman versus Wolverine as magicians thing, and it had a really good cast. And so yeah, I really liked the way that it was done. It brought in the Tesla stuff. It brought in, just these really interesting concepts. And then, like I said, the twist at the end totally just, I fell for it, like completely. I had no idea going through it. I didn't put anything together. There are people who are like, oh yeah, I knew that was coming from a mile away. And I was like, not me, man. I was blind to that whole twist, and then it happened and my mind was just blown, and I was like, I need to see this movie again, like as soon as possible, because now I need to watch it. And it's one that, even knowing the twist, I can still watch and still look for new things and still look for these little clues, and you can still find stuff. And so I love it. So that's my number 8 is Prestige.
Fun fact, Will Arnett modeled his character Job, who was in Arrested Development, after The Prestige.
Interesting.
I made that up. Number 7 on my list. You want me to make up trivia facts for each of these movies as we go? Because I'd be into that. What are you doing over there? All right. You're really excited for number 7, and I get it.
Kicked the microphone.
Because number 7 is a movie that I know you enjoy. It did not make your top 10, but I know that you like it, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is I enjoy this movie. It is one of the if you when we get through the end of our list, I feel like I have a pretty good, like, 2 movies from each decade or so that I've been alive. Okay. And so this is one of the more recent ones that I've watched more. And look, part of that's the transition from single bachelor to husband and father. You're kind of, this is a movie I put on, I watch with my kids. Yeah. We enjoyed it as a family. We've rewatched it as a family, and we will continue to watch together. I have movies that a movie or two that might make an appearance on this list that are movies that I watched with my dad when I was a kid. Okay. And there's a special connection or a lineage that kind of gets, you pass down through certain movies that, or certain sporting events, things like that you can share and that kind of remind you of your family. And so this is one I feel like, 10 years from now, my sons will put on and they'll be like, dad, dad, he liked that music he really liked the soundtrack to this movie. That dad of mine. It's a great soundtrack. My kids and I, we put the music on, we dance, we have fun. It's a great movie. I don't need to convince you. No, you the Brody, also you the viewer, you all like Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a great movie.
So enjoy it. Watch it again for the first time with fresh eyes.
Yeah, sure. All right. So that was your number 6?
That was my number 7.
7. Ooh, I almost said my number 6.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, would have been
you almost picked the wrong Christopher Nolan movie.
So this one, famous Christopher Nolan movie, RoboCop.
Oh yeah, he did direct that, didn't he?
The original RoboCop.
Fun fact, Christopher Nolan used RoboCop as the premise for his Inception film.
Yeah. All right.
So are we talking the reboot then? You like the reboot that much?
No. Boy, and I watched the reboot. It wasn't as good. No, the original.
Peter Weller's, is that, or Peter Weller? Who's
Peter Weller? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gets shot a lot.
He does get shot a lot. This was another one that I probably saw when I was too young. It is very violent. I can't wait to show.
How many times did he get shot? Like 30 times or something in the beginning? They just keep shooting him.
They just keep shooting him. Yeah, his arm.
There's a great Robot Chicken episode.
His arm gets blown off, and they just keep shooting him. Yeah, this is one that I can't wait to one day show my sons. But they are far too young at 7 and 5.
Oh, bro, come on! They got to learn. So if anything, the violence in that movie makes you feel invincible, because you're like, wow, that guy got shot a lot, and he got turned into a cool robot after. So
yeah,
life has no consequences.
He also got his mind wiped, and his wife left.
Eh,
Yeah, yeah.
eh,
But no, I could still watch RoboCop. I love the
that's funny.
way, the news clips and the commercials and the shows. I'd buy that for $1. I still is a line that I just love to say. Um, it's just there's so much that's good with this movie,
Yeah.
and yes, it has aged. Um, not all of it looks great,
Nah.
the Ed 209 and stuff like that. Sure, it doesn't hold up as well as it used to, but man, this
It
is
holds up in here, Brody, in here.
it. Exactly, it does. The the guy that gets like the toxic sludge spilled on him, and he's just like wandering around, and then the car hits him and he just explodes. Come on, man, this is a great
It's
great
good
movie.
stuff.
And it's one I don't get to watch it super often, especially because I have kids. My wife has already seen it. It's probably enough.
Hey, bless her heart for watching it with you.
Yeah, I don't know that she'll watch it again. So it's a little hard to get this one on the TV, but if I get the chance, man, I love to just sit down and watch this movie. Dead or Alive,
Yes.
You're coming with me. Oh man, so good, so good. So that's my number 7 is RoboCop, original.
That didn't end up making my list, so I apologize. But it's good to hear you loving it.
Oh, I can't believe RoboCop didn't make your list.
So my number 6, and this is where it got real hard for me,
Okay.
because I could really flip flop the order here a lot. But for number 6, I put Groundhog Day, featuring a younger Bill Murray here.
Sure.
My shirt here, William Murray. Look, this movie came out, and I instantly fell in love, and it's just one that I've seen a ton. And it was so good and so popular that the format and the style of this movie has been mimicked in television and movies over and over again, and we just call this is a Groundhog Day episode, or it's a Groundhog Day, and it's just. And then in my personal life, it's like, this day's like, especially during the pandemic, it's like, I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day, where I'm just reliving the same day over and over again. Yeah. So it's like so permeated into like culture and into my own brain. You ever sit back and think about how many, the speculation, Harold Ramis said he lived like 50 years. And that was like a compromise because like the original screenwriter was thinking more like 80 years
really in
that one day. And then other people that have watched it have said more like 10 or 15 years. So, I mean, but just to even try to fathom that and that same day over and over again. And the idea, like the philosophical idea, can a person really truly change, Brody? And how long would it take? How long would it take living the same day and seeing your consequences played out over and over again? How long would it take to actually truly change? And are we truly capable of it? So there's some depth to it from like a philosophical standpoint. The music is spot on. The Rhapsody theme of Paganini, the jazz version, which is just so nice from a musical standpoint. You know me, I love my music. And just Bill Murray being hysterical, and just the whole cast is great. Ned Ryerson. It's another movie that's fun to quote. Another movie that's just fun to watch, and another one that I've showed a lot of people. If I encounter someone who's like, I haven't seen that, you're in for a treat.
I haven't seen this in a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
We're putting it on.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna watch Shaolin Soccer, and then we're watching Groundhog Day. We'll wash it all down with some RoboCop.
There we go. Or some other higher ones on my list that I don't think.
All right. Give me number 6.
All right, my number 6. I don't think you've seen this one.
Challenge me, bro.
Shoot 'em up.
Oh, I've seen Shoot 'em up.
Have you seen Shoot 'em up?
Clive Owen, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Why do I love this movie so much? I don't know. It's this movie makes me laugh so much. It's the Clive Owen character. This movie is a live action Looney Tunes. Like I've actually read some articles that like analyze this movie on why this movie is so great. Clive Owen is great. He's got the characters. I still say, you know what I hate? I say it. I love all the time. Just random things. You know what I hate? I love it. I love it. Makes me laugh. It's very violent. Again, this is not one for kids, so it doesn't get on my TV super often. My wife is more willing to watch this one than RoboCop, and so
Okay.
if I get the chance, shoot him up.
He's like, does he change a diaper while he kills people? Is that this movie where he's holding a baby and he's like changing a diaper and shooting people?
Yeah. He does a lot of stuff while shooting people. Paul Giamatti's in it. Monica Bellucci's in it. Those are really the only big people.
He does shoot him up. I think it is probably one of the best.
There are so many
titles to
so
film.
many deaths. There are so many bullets. There are so many guns. It doesn't make sense. But oh man, this movie is so much fun. I'm sad they never made a sequel for it. I had looked it up because I was making this list, and I was thinking about all the directors, and because I got the Christopher Nolan in there, and I was like, I don't know who directed this movie, and I looked it up. I don't know who this guy is. He's directed like 5 things. I don't know. Some of them were like the early 90s, like 100 Girls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that actually.
Have you?
Yeah.
Random. Okay. Yeah. So he hasn't done anything since 2013. I don't know where he went. Make a shoot 'em up sequel. I want to see it. The people want shoot 'em up too.
The people want it. Can I ask you? Sorry, a little rabbit trail here.
Sure.
What happened to Clive Owen?
What are you talking about?
Like, what was the last movie he did?
I don't know. Look at IMDb.
I don't want to look it up. I want to hear from you, the biggest Clive Owen fan on earth. Why I don't see Clive Owen in the movies anymore.
I don't know.
He was a big thing, and then he was no thing.
Well, he started doing like some romantic comedies and stuff like that. Because he did like some action
that
stuff.
That killed his career?
No, I don't think he has a dead career. He still shows up on smaller stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Are you trying to insinuate that shoot 'em up hurt his career?
Well, I'm saying perhaps a coincidence, perhaps not. Let's see.
Love Shoot 'em Up. It's a great movie. I'll watch it anytime. Anytime.
Shoot 'em Up was 2007.
As long as there's not kids around.
Okay, and then he did
one for the kids.
Oh, he did Duplicity after. Okay, maybe that was the one that did him in. But yeah, he has not done a movie in a while, although he has been appearing apparently on a couple of TV series.
Sure.
I've not heard of. Okay.
Hey, TV series, they're the thing to do. They're the thing to do.
Oh, all right. Well, Clive Owen, if you're watching this, we miss you. Come back. I was gonna say Just Shoot Me Too. Just Shoot 'em Up too.
Shoot 'em up too.
All right. Number 5? Are we on number 5? Top 5?
We are number 5.
All right. We have one movie in common, and it is this one. And my number 5
Shoot 'em Up is on your list.
It's RoboCop. No, I'm just kidding. It's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, this is why you didn't have much to say.
I did not say much.
I was like, he's being awful quiet as I'm talking about this movie.
I didn't want to spoil anything, but yeah, look, this is such a good movie, and it was such a refreshing take on the character, and the whole universe was so magical. The animation was fantastic. The voice acting was like top notch. The action sequences were just so fun to watch. And this was probably the last movie I saw in the theaters with my kids, where at the end, all of us walked away just feeling like really electric. Sure. We walked out of the theater and my boys were like climbing posts and jumping off and like, shooting webs. And I was climbing posts and jumping off and shooting webs. And we were just like, yeah, all of us, it just left us with this really like this high. We've watched it a ton since. It's such a good, fun movie. And I can't wait to play the PS5 game. So excited for PS5 and to play this new Spider-Man game. And I cannot wait for them to make some sequels. Let's go.
Into the Spider-Verse 2. I actually missed this one in theaters. I didn't see it in theaters, and I wish I would have.
Oh, it's so good.
Kids, young kids, and so I didn't see this until it came home on Blu-ray. But yeah, this one is such a good movie.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Moulin Rouge, with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor. I saw that laugh. Are you laughing at my number
No,
5 pick,
no,
Charlie?
I'm having flashbacks because I'm remembering previous top 5 conversations from like 15 years ago. And now I'm starting. Oh, okay, I remember. That's right. Moulin Rouge. That's right. Shoot 'em up. That's right. RoboCop. That's right. So I'm just starting to remember your list
Oh
here.
man, no, this is
Give us
another.
hum a couple bars for us.
No,
Your
no,
gift is a song, Brody.
no.
Okay.
Sorry. This is another one that both me and my wife love, and we. I won't do it here, but we just sing these songs together.
Sing it,
We'll sing them in the car together.
Bring her in and sing.
We'll put the no. We'll put the soundtrack on in the house as we're making dinner and sing it. And then, you know, if her and I just want to watch a movie, this is one that we just love to put on and watch. And we both really liked this movie before we met. And so then when we met and started dating, it came up of like, oh, have you ever seen Moulin Rouge? Oh, I love Moulin Rouge. I love Moulin Rouge too. And so then that became this thing that we connected over. So it is great. I love the way that they pulled like modern music in to this time period and how they did it. And it's Baz Luhrmann, so it's very visual. This is in my top 5. So this one's up there. This is kind of one of the ones that's always there, Yeah. And so whenever I have the top 5 conversation, like Moulin Rouge is in there, and some people are like, and then some people are like, that is a good movie. And so it's nice. I think it's one that like not everybody remembers, but I remember it. I love it.
Watch it again and then tell Brody if he's crazy for liking it.
I'm not.
Just like you might for my number 4.
Okay.
Major League. Now, I'm a huge baseball nut.
Huge baseball fan, yeah.
I have baseball and movies have been probably the 2 things in my life that I have been in love with the longest, and just to have them paired so beautifully together in a film. Look, I knew I was putting a baseball movie on here. I didn't know which one it was going to be. This ended up being, as I thought through it, I'm like, okay, this is my favorite. But Bull Durham, 61, Long Gone, Field of Dreams gets an honorable mention, although probably a little overrated. But there is something about having a catch with your dad, just a tear jerker. But there's so many good baseball films. For love of games, fine. It's fine. It's fine. The 42 was great. Look, anyway, we could do a whole top 10 baseball film episode if you'd like. I could just do all the talking, and I'll make you watch all 10.
That'll be the solo episode. Is Charlie's top 10 baseball movies?
You get Charlie Sheen being hilarious. You get Wesley Snipes. Oh no, but Little Big League. Little Big League, maybe.
Sandlot has
baseball.
I
love. Sandlot's great. Sandlot's great, but that's not my top 10.
Okay.
But yes, those are both baseball movies. Good job, Brody.
Yes.
Angels in the Outfield. All right, but Major Wesley Snipes was just awesome in it. Willie Mays Hayes was so good. You get Dennis Haysbert and Tom Berenger, Corbin Burnson, just like an all-star cast, a who's who of guys playing baseball, and so it's a really fun movie, and it's I think some of the better like baseball sequences that appear in a film, even though it's a comedy. The baseball is legit, and it's a great watch. If you like baseball, if you like movies, you've probably already seen this. But if you're not sure you like baseball, but you are sure you like movies, give it a watch, because it is even if you don't like baseball, I think it's still very entertaining. And boy, the Cleveland Indians have been bad since this movie was made. Still relevant to this day. Just they almost won a World Series, but anyway, we don't need to talk about baseball. Your number 4.
I know I've seen this movie.
You've seen your number 4?
No, I know I've seen Major League.
Okay. That's like, I hope you've seen the movie.
I'm commenting on yours. I know that I've seen it, but I don't know that I could tell you anything about it.
Is it sound familiar if I said he slid into second base but came nowhere near it. You know what? Can I tell a little bit of an off-color story about Major League? Is that okay?
Sure.
So I watched this as a youngster, and I had a very innocent mind. And there's a scene where Bob Uecker's so good in the movie. He's talking about the Indian season, and Willie Mays Hayes hits this little dribbler and beats it out to first. And he's on first base, and he's talking about, oh, this is going to be our year. It's going to be a great year. And then the first baseman's like, oh, your shoe's untied. And Wesley looks down, and they pick him off, and he's out. And then Bob Uecker does this gesture. And to my young mind, I thought,
know this story.
He's rolling dice like he's like craps. For some reason, when I was young, I knew about craps, but I didn't know anything else that might mean. So I walked around for like a good 6 months just making this hand gesture. I made it to my mom, to my dad, people on the street, probably in classrooms, like, oh, dinner's going to be late tonight. Oh, too bad, Mom. Craps. Dad's like, oh, you get homework done? A lot of homework, Dad. And no one said anything to me about the gesture. And then I was in high school, and there's this kid named Ronnie who was just very gross and fun. And he just started making this gesture, but with a very different context. And it was like this movie moment where like floods of memories of me making this hand gesture at my family. And I could just see all these vivid pictures of my family always looking at me kind of weird. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? So another reason to love Major League.
There you go. When you see kids making an obscene gesture, tell them not to do it.
Pro tip, parents. Don't let them walk around. Just sorry, just pull them aside and be like, hey, do you know what that means? And yeah, Dad, rolling craps. And then you'd be like, you know what? That's not what it means. Let's just not do it. Come on, help your kids out.
Oh man. Okay, so that's your number 4. So my number 4 is Avengers Endgame. Now, I know for you,
nice.
this is a controversial pick because this is not one of your favorite movies.
It is not in my top 10.
Or add a couple zeros. And
hey. You talk about why you like it. You leave me out of this.
I love this movie. This is like I'm sure that we will do plenty of episodes where this movie will come up for me. We'll do a Marvel one, and this will be just at the top of my list. Spoilers. Crap.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Now that I need to tune in.
Stink.
But you liked it.
I loved it. I loved the time travel stuff. I loved all the references to just the 21 movies that are before it, 20 movies that are before it. The end fight is just something that just will stick in my heart for the rest of my life. The Avengers assemble, just tears. I'll put on the soundtrack and I just imagine it happening, and I could just stand there and just, oh man, I'm so glad that was the moment that they got to say Avengers Assemble. It's great. I love the characters. I love, Captain America in it. Captain America somehow became like one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Never a Captain America fan in comics, but MCU Cap, love him. So I love the whole thing. I know that's, it also kind of signifies, as it is like the culmination, like we're going to move on to a different phase from here. A lot of these actors are not going to come back. This is the last time that we're going to see, probably, it's going to be the last time that we see Cap as Chris Evans as Captain America, Robert Downey as Iron Man, and it's kind of like this send-off moment, and it just had so many of those moments that I was just like, I'm so happy to be watching this movie, and I didn't want it to end. And yeah, I love this movie. So that's my number 4 is Avengers Endgame.
All right.
Number 3.
talk about more about the Marvel movies, I'm sure, at a later date. So, well,
I
I'll
thought you were
withhold
talking
all
about your number 3. I was going to say,
no, I'll withhold all
whoa.
opinions on that. Although I'm sure we'll talk more about these movies later as well. But my number 3 is Star Wars: New Hope, and it is the very first movie that launched my kind of infatuation with sci-fi and my in a lot of ways just my imagination as a kid. I bought every single Star Wars toy I could get my hands on.
Sure.
I had Star Wars pajamas and blankets and was just such a sucker for every little Star Wars cereal. Not with Frosties. You know, I'll watch the Droids
Still are
cartoon.
a sucker for Star Wars, Charlie.
I am. I can't quit it. I try. I can't get away. It's like I keep coming back. They keep giving me Jar Jar, and I say, give me more. Yeah, you can't do a movie bad enough to make me not love you. And they try, but I say, no, nay, I love you still. I watched the Ewok Christmas special. I've seen it all, bro. But
yeah,
I knew. Look, Empire is the better movie. It's the better movie. But if I'm only watching one, I want to watch the one that kind of doesn't leave me feeling sad and empty inside. I don't want to see Han Solo being carted away in kryptonite. I want to see him getting the medal around his neck, looking at Leia like, yeah. And then I want to see Luke looking at Leia like, yeah. And then you know, like I want Chewbacca to go. Give me the little a nice little happy ending. It's a nice little encapsulation of like all the best parts of what made that universe so appealing. You get Obi-Wan, you get Darth Vader, you get just the intro. Look, I know it doesn't have Yoda, which is a bummer, but it's got just an introduction to these great, wonderful characters in this incredible universe. And I've always believed that the Star Wars universe, in and of itself, is far more intriguing than any of the individual movies that have been produced about it. Which is why some of the video games are so great. We should have a Star Wars video game podcast, video cast, channel video. What do we call these? Episodes. That's what they're called.
There you go.
I'm so excited. I can't even focus. All right. But lightsaber, the first time seeing a lightsaber, it was like, right. For me, this is my number 3. And this is especially, you know, generationally, my dad loves Star Wars. I love Star Wars. My kids love Star Wars. It's got that nice little generational aspect to it too.
Sure does.
So you're number 3, bro.
Yeah. My number 3 is The Dark Knight.
Number 3.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
You seem surprised. Did you think it was higher?
I thought it would be 2 or 1, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
You guys may not know this about Brody, but he's a bit of a Batman fan. You can't tell him. Show him the tattoo, Brody. Show him the tattoos.
A little bit. There it is. Batman.
All right, show him the other one too, though, I guess, to balance it out.
Well, that's X-Men, but that's not Batman.
I know, but it said balance him out.
So here's the thing with Batman movies. Okay, I am a big Batman fan. I love Batman. Always have. Always will. There will always be a Batman in my top 5, probably. Has it cycled through? Yeah, you know, for most of my childhood, going into my teens, like Batman '89 was always like, you know, up there's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Batman Begins came out, and I was like, that just blew my mind. You know, Batman Begins is like now in my top 5, and then Dark Knight came out, and I was like, oh, you just keep getting better. You know, Dark Knight Rises came out and was fine. I still like that movie, but it didn't quite get to that Dark Knight level.
It didn't rise.
With,
quite high.
Yeah. Fun fact, I actually went on media blackout. I was like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see any pictures. I don't want to see any trailers. I don't want to see anything. I want to know nothing about this movie. I want to go completely fresh. And I went in, and I actually think I wish I would have watched stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does help to build the excitement. And I there was a lot of stuff, and I went and I watched, you know, I got home that night and I watched everything. I was like, oh, yeah, that would have been cool to watch and get excited about.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Like that, so you could have heard Bane's awesome voice where it's like,
yeah. But I'm not talking about Dark Knight
sounds
Rises.
like a drive-through speaker guy.
I'm talking about Dark Knight.
Go ahead. Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. I was a part of like this giant marketing campaign, you know,
Yeah, you were.
and I got like newspaper clippings and I got Harvey Dent buttons sent to me. They don't do anything like that anymore. It was so good.
No.
I was so excited for this. I went midnight showing. I saw it so many times in the theaters. Joker was amazing for the longest time in my mind. I was like, Jack Nicholson's Joker is untouchable. Nobody else can do Joker. Nobody else is going to come close to it. It's you can't do it again. And then they announced Heath Ledger, and I was like, I don't like that casting. I was totally wrong on that. I love the Joker in that. The Two-Face stuff was good. I liked it. I liked the arc that they had. I wish he would have lived, but it was all based in a more realistic sense, and so it kind of made sense. Sure. That, you know, I've read stuff where it's like, that dude wasn't on any pain medication. He was dying. There's no living past that, especially when you're in a movie that they're trying to base in a form of reality. So, you know, the choice made sense. It was fine. I wish so much that Heath Ledger hadn't passed away, because I think that really altered where they were going with that story. And I think that's where Rise has suffered some, because Ledger's Joker was so good. I just watched this with my two older kids during the pandemic when they weren't in school. And I was like, we're going to watch all the Batman movies. So we did that, and it freaked them out, you know, and there were scenes where they were definitely like closing their eyes and stuff like that. But like that movie, I love that movie. I know you've got some issues with it. I know it's not your favorite. Not in your top 10. Hey, we've had this conversation.
Why are you talking to me?
We've had this conversation, Charlie.
I love The Dark Knight. Don't at me. It's a great movie.
We'll have conversations.
I love
about
Avengers
this
Endgame. It's a great movie.
You
turned him against me in the first episode, Brody. Come on.
But
don't listen to him, folks.
Dark Knight.
Look at my post. Look at I signed autographed Batman posters in my room.
Yep.
2 of them.
Definitely in your room.
Brody copied me. Don't make me show my Batman tattoos. If it wasn't in an indecent place, I'd flash my Batman tattoos right now.
Okay. All right. So there's my number 3, Dark Knight. Will the Dark Knight stay there? I don't know. You know, we are going to continue to have Batman movies come out. We've got the Batman coming out next year. Next year. We've had Batman movies for decades. We will continue to have, you know, Batman brings them the money. They're going to keep making those movies. I hope they just keep getting better. You know,
every 3 years we need to be reminded of his origin story, because like, does he have parents? I don't know. Like, what happened to him?
I can't remember. I
don't know. I better see another movie.
I'm okay with it. So yeah, you know, I hope that they keep getting better. I do. If Dark Knight falls off, it just means that there's a better Batman movie, and I'm okay with that. So there's my number 3, The Dark Knight.
I'll save my Batman fun facts for a Batman episode. All right, my number 2 is to make a long story short. Too late. All right, so this is you leave me hanging, man. I know it's not one of your favorite movies. Shut up. All right, so my number 2 is This Is Spinal Tap. And this is the mockumentary that started the mockumentaries, and I just love all of them, with Christopher Guest and Harry Shearer and so like just the like this is the one for me though, because look, I'm a musician by trade. That is how I make my living. I have played in bands since high school and on, and still do. And the inside jokes of like the music inside jokes just hit with me and hit in a big way. This is a movie I've seen a lot. It's a movie I've showed a lot of people. It is a movie that I've watched with my bandmates. It is a movie that has inspired me to in some of the humor songs that I've written, to not take music too seriously, but to always take my musicianship seriously. I have seen the band live. I have gone
You've
to
seen
a concert.
Spinal Tap live?
I have seen Spinal Tap in concert.
I didn't know that.
It was a very fun show.
Oh, I bet.
And this is just this could easily have been my number 1. It is just a really enjoyable film, even if you're not a musician. Some of the jokes may not just like hit home with you. And look, it's dated. It's not. I think it's 1980. So I mean, it's not like I saw it when it came out, and it's not like there's no mention of like TikTok or YouTube or how to get famous on the Insta. It's it's just it's old school, like going to playing clubs and bars and big rock band tours and amps that go up to 11 and how black is black and it's too black and the D minor, the saddest of all keys, and it's lick my. This one's called "Lick My Love Pump," and it's just it's one of those like where still even my friends that I play music with that have minimal senses, like a minimal sense of humor, will drop a "it goes up to 11" joke without the accent usually. Oh, turn your amp up to 11. Which if you've seen the movie, you're like, hey, I've seen that. I get that reference. Also features a mime Billy Crystal and a young Bruno Kirby, Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer from who you might recognize as the voice of Minnie Simpson.
Yeah.
Character. I guess not Minnie Simpson, but Minnie Simpson's character. Fantastic movie, and the music is really fun. So if you've never seen it, and it's quite possible that this is like 30 years before the time of some of you that might be watching this, watch it. Check it out. Drummers spontaneously combust. It's hilarious because it's true. Drummers are the worst. Offense meant, drummers.
Boy, you talk about quotable movies. I mean, this one, like the whole movie, you could just line after line, you just quote them.
Yeah.
They're great. It's a good one.
Oh, what's your deuce?
My number 2, the final Christopher Nolan movie on my list.
I knew there had to be one more.
Interstellar.
Wow.
Boy,
okay.
I love sci-fi. I love space. If I was smarter and started younger, I would have been an astronaut. And so having
you're plenty smart. Homer Simpson was an astronaut.
So having a Christopher Nolan movie about space, I was like, man, I am in. And this did not disappoint. I do not understand all of this movie, and that's okay. I will still watch it. I will still cry, and it's the way the stuff that they talk about, the black hole and time, the things that they play with, the way that it's shot. I've watched some stuff that is like how they made the movie, and the way that they designed the black hole ended up being like one of the more realistic ways that like has ever kind of been recorded and stuff like that.
Interesting.
It's just all this stuff, and the practicality of some of the effects. The robot that they used was like a practical robot, and that's like amazing to me. And it's got funny parts, and it's super sad, and it's intense. This is a score that I can listen to just over and over and over again. The score is so good, and there's all sorts of trivia and stuff about the score and how Hans Zimmer did it, and it's go read about it. I don't have it all memorized.
Google
but
it,
it's this is one. It's another one. It's long, but there have been times where I've wanted to watch it so bad that I'm like, I'm going to watch it over 2 days, and I break it in half and I watch it, and it's to me is just this powerful movie, and I just love the things that they do with it, and I love the way that Christopher Nolan made this movie, and it's my number 2. It is so good.
Listening to you talk about it, I feel like maybe I should reevaluate my stance on this movie because I have never seen it.
You've never seen Interstellar?
I know. I missed it. It was in a weird window where I just wasn't seeing a lot of movies, and then it didn't like pop on a streaming service right away. And I just missed it. I missed it. And I debated whether or not to admit that to you now in a moment of shame. But
I'm glad that you did.
Here I am, world, coming to. I am an imperfect person, and I've seen so many movies. I've seen 100 Girls, but I have not seen, Interstellar, and I'm sorry. I also missed Red Planet,
man.
and I love sci-fi. I don't know. There was like I didn't
Red
see
Planet.
what was Gravity? Wasn't Red Planet Matt Damon? What was the Matt Damon one?
Oh, The Martian.
The Martian.
Red
I missed
Planet.
that.
I think Red Planet was like a Christian Slater movie, like in the early 2000s.
Christian Slater's in space, eh?
It was something like
this
that.
is a relevant impression if you watched movies in the 90s, eh?
But yeah, The Martian. The Martian was also good.
Martian. Okay. Yeah, I missed. There was a few of these that I just like right in that 2013, 14 to like 2000, like young kids, right? You're not going to the theater and there's less time and you're tired. It's hard to like put on a deep movie and just say, okay, I'm going to watch this for the next 2.5 hours. And then it's like 20 minutes in, you're like, so yeah. There was a few that I missed and this one slipped through the cracks, but listening to you talk about it, I'm like, that sounds great. I will be watching this and there'll be a follow-up episode dedicated simply to my love of Christopher Nolan movies. And this one will be at the top of the list.
All right, so next time we get together, next time we get together, we're watching Shaolin Soccer and Interstellar. Is that the combo we're doing?
That's a heck of a double feature right there. Oh yeah, we'll live tweet that, so that'll be fun.
There we go.
All right, well on to the fanfare. We get a little drum roll.
Number one.
So my number one all-time favorite movie, if I had not already lost enough cred with the listeners for not having seen Interstellar,
can I guess?
Brody accusing me. No, you already know. You don't even have to guess. You know.
It hasn't changed in 20 years?
It has not changed in 20 years.
Okay. My
favorite movie, When Harry Met Sally.
Yep, that's it.
No jokes, no bones about it. And I do realize I got a lot. I got some Billy Crystal on my list here. I love me some Billy.
You got a lot of Billy Crystal on this list.
This was like, to me, this was like the perfect romantic comedy, and it's look, I didn't see it in theaters or whatever, but I saw it. When the first time I saw it, it just like clicked. Like a lot of my views of romance were shaped through media, as many of ours are, and the bantering relationship between two people. This idea of friendship blossoming into love, the idea of being with someone who challenges you, someone who pushes you, someone who doesn't just isn't just saying yes or no and not being dismissive, but someone who engages and look, I loved the relationship that Meg Ryan and Billy had. I loved the friendships. I got two Carrie Fisher movies here. So Carrie Fisher back on the list. She's a very strong presence in my top five. Bruno Kirby again making another appearance here. Look, it is to this day, it is one of the movies that I could watch any day, any time, and just like be instantly transported to this like wonderful, beautiful time in my life where I saw it, and it's still meaningful to me. It's a movie that I enjoy watching with my wife, but it's also one I just enjoy watching myself. Look, I am a sucker for romance. There was going to be a rom-com on my list. There's a lot. I could give you a top 10 rom-coms, but they don't make them like they used to. Or maybe I'm just a curmudgeon. But this one, it wasn't about like, oh, we're two sexy people and we're falling in love, but oh, there's a conflict because one of us lied about something and now the other. I have a southern drawl for some reason. All right. It's just. It was like real life conflicts, and it was messy, and there was it's divorce, and it's like timing is bad, and it's real timing and real life issues, and how to make relationships work. And I just thought it was such a well done movie. Nora Ephron's a great screenwriter, and I loved it. Love me some Reiner too. I got a lot of Reiner on my top two here. All right, but I could talk about When Harry Met. I could literally talk about this for another hour, so I'll stop. Okay. But if you are sitting there and you're like, oh, I cannot believe that's his favorite movie, watch it and tell me it's not great. People still say, and we'll always say, I'll have what she's having, as like a punchline for a joke. And it will always be like, oh, that's funny. That's where it's from.
It's true. All right. My number one, probably obvious at this point. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. kind of going off of what you said with Star Wars, how Star Wars Episode 4 kind of set everything up. This one just kind of blew it up. Now we're getting all these planets. We're getting aliens. We're getting more Darth Vader. We're getting more story. We're getting this back lore. We get the introduction of Yoda and more about the Force and more about the Jedi. We have the reveal of Vader and Luke. I didn't see it in theaters. I wish I would have, and just all of that Bespin, and it does end on a downer and what is going to happen. I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with that now because I know where it was going, and it's all on Disney Plus, and so I can just, the movie ends and I just put next, and then it goes on to Return of the Jedi. But just this movie,
so good.
Is so good. It's so good.
So good. Yeah.
Is it a perfect movie? I don't know.
I don't believe in perfect movies anymore than I believe in perfect people, but it's close.
There's this movie is really good with the way that it takes Star Wars and just runs with it. The ideas that were set up in the first one, where we have Hoth, we have Bespin, we have Dagobah, we have where in Star Wars we've got Star Destroyers and we've got TIE fighters. Now we've got the walkers, and we've got the ATSTs and the AT-ATs, and all this stuff, and it's the Han and Leia romance really ramps up. Just so good. This is one that I think will probably always be at the top of my list. I watched it as a kid, and the Wampas terrified me, and I'd hide behind the couch, but I would watch this all the time as a kid, and I could still watch it now. And I'm not looking. Yeah, it's my number one. I don't know if it'll ever move. It's so good. This is, what brought about my love of Star Wars. So
that's a solid list, bro. It's a solid 10 you got there.
Oh, well, thank you. There was a couple that didn't make my list. They were close. There were some franchises that I just didn't know.
Yeah, what's your favorite of the Harry Potter films? Do you have one that stands out? That's
actually, I have two franchises. I have the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings. Easily could pull one of those out, put in my top 10. I just didn't know which one to pull out. I didn't know kind of where it would fit. If I could say, I'm just going to put the Harry Potter franchise in there, like totally.
Number 7.
And the Harry Potter franchise especially, just has a lot of personal stuff. I saw it, when I was single. I saw it when I was dating different people. I saw it when I was dating my wife, when I was engaged to my wife. We saw number 5 on our honeymoon. We saw number 6 after we were married. We saw 7 when we had kids. Harry Potter just spanned my every stage of my life.
You're such a Slytherin. You pretend to be a Slytherin, but you're a Hufflepuff. You are such a Hufflepuff.
No, Pottermore says I'm a Slytherin.
Yeah. And Pottermore says I am a Ravenclaw. Womp womp.
So Harry Potter, I could pull out Prisoner of Azkaban. I could pull out Goblet of Fire. I didn't know which one I wanted to pull out. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. I love all the Lord of the Rings. Which one do I pull out and where do I put it? If I could put Lord of the Rings just as a whole in, I would do that. But I just wasn't sure how to do that, so I just didn't include them at all.
Can I ask you about a couple ones that just missed my list? Now, I'm just curious if you even thought about them.
Sure.
Did you give any consideration to Ghostbusters?
I thought about it. A couple that I thought about. Ghostbusters, one of them. Back to the Future was one of them.
Yep.
Nightmare Before Christmas was one of them. Nacho Libre was one of them.
Okay, well, you had me going, and then you swung a different direction on me.
Hey, Nacho Libre.
I was just like, yes. Oh, no,
Nacho Libre is an amazing movie.
You tried to slip it in there on me.
Hey, it's an amazing movie. But All those. I thought about it. They're kind of on that honorable mentions list.
Yeah. It was tough. It was tough to leave some of those things out, and I do think some of those Indiana Jones films were
Last Crusade.
Like,
Last Crusade was up
one
there.
that I stared at for a long time.
Me too.
It's hard sometimes to like just we should do a franchise ranking episode where we can talk about some of these as like the totality of the films.
Mm-hmm.
Shawshank Redemption was one that just missed for me too, that I loved for a long time, but didn't put it on this list, and I've got my reasons. But yeah, there's a lot of really good ones. Are you excited for the new Ghostbusters? Because I'm pretty excited for that.
Yes.
You're not at all. Okay, you don't. There's a new Ghostbusters movie.
No,
I don't know if you know this or not.
I am. Okay. More than
You just hate Ghostbusters. Okay, he hates Ghostbusters. People in the comments, focus on that. Ignore all the other stuff about me and focus on his hatred of the Ghostbusters.
More than excited is I'm interested. I am very interested to see what they are going to do. Egon is dead. Okay. What are they doing there? Everybody is.
He's actually dead, like the actor.
Yes, I know. Okay. That's what I mean.
We're missing. Did he know?
We're missing a whole Ghostbuster. Okay,
I know.
All of those guys are very old. They're all very old.
Hey! Lay off William Murray. Lay off my boy here.
I love him. He's very old. I'm very interested to see what this becomes.
He's going to do the rest of the podcast.
We haven't seen anything about it. We haven't seen anything about it.
There's a trailer. Have you not watched the trailer? Watch the trailer. It's good. We should. Okay, you know what? Don't watch the trailer. Don't watch the trailer. We'll watch it together on. We'll record it.
The car in the garage.
Are you asking me to describe the trailer to you right now?
Is there a real trailer?
There's a trailer. Yeah.
That shows them?
Look, what it shows or what it doesn't show. I'm not going to sit here and discuss what
I saw. Okay.
What are we talking about this?
I'm just wondering if I saw the right thing. I saw a trailer.
I don't know.
Zooms
How long was it?
On a garage, and it shows the car, and that's all that I've seen.
Oh, that's it. Oh no, there's a longer one, much longer.
Oh,
like 2.5 minutes.
That? How did I miss that?
I don't know, but it's good. It's exciting. It shows Paul Rudd a lot because Paul Rudd.
Okay. Well,
the Ant-Man himself.
Yes, we'll watch that.
Don't be clueless, Brody. Watch the Paul Rudd trailer.
Oh gosh. Yes. Then we will watch that, and then
I can't believe he hasn't seen it. Am I right?
And then I will probably be excited. For now, I
haven't seen the new Batman trailer yet, so I'm gonna. As soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna go watch that because that just got released. So I'm excited to check that.
You haven't seen it? I sent it to you.
I know, but I purposely have not watched it yet, so because I wanted to record myself watching it, so that I could get first reactions for you.
Yes.
I'm always thinking of you, bro. Every choice I make runs through a filter.
Then we're watching Interstellar.
Yes, and Shaolin Soccer. So,
all right. Well, that is our episode. That's our top 10 favorite movies. Very personal, very subjective.
Very subjective.
Favorite movies of all time. Note, not the best movies they've ever made. Just
definitely not the best.
Those are two very different lists.
Really, your favorite movie list is the one list where no one can tell you you're wrong because they're your favorites. You can tell me the movies are bad, but you can't tell me I'm wrong because it's my list. They're my movies.
It's true.
They're my favorites. So why don't you tell us what your favorite movies are of all time in the comments? And join the conversation with us. Let us know which of our movies maybe you've seen. Maybe you haven't seen movies like Shaolin Soccer or Interstellar, both indie films, very low press, not a lot of star power in either film. All right. So you could check them out and let us know what you think. Let us know about our list, what you think. But, as always, be kind in the comments to one another and to us. We have families, and we want to make it home to them. So,
especially to us.
Join the conversation and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can get more of our content coming. We're going to have a lot of fun episodes coming your way, get a lot of fun ideas for some future topics to discuss, and looking forward to it.
Yep. Yeah. Please like and subscribe. That is really helpful. It helps with the algorithms. We're just kind of getting this up and going. And so
tell your friends
if we can get some support, then that would be awesome. And we'd love to keep making these and sending them out. We've got more ideas. We've got lots of ideas, top 10 lists, all sorts of stuff that we're putting together. yeah, no, we look forward to sharing and talking.
He doesn't like Ghostbusters.
It's not true. It almost wound up on my list.
Okay. All right. Well, until next time, bro. Pleasure as always.
Of course. We'll see you later.
See you next time.
Bye.